How far could Sun Jin Woo make it in Dragon Ball? This video will take Jin Woo just from solo leveling and put him up against Dragon Ball. We'll scale Jin Woo first and then compare him to Dragon Ball's arcs. We're putting everyone in the arc at the certain time of the arc against him, because let's just say Jin Woo's aura is too ominous and dark and the Dragon Ball characters want to, take him out. So for an example, Jin Woo pulls up on Vegito and Majin Buu. Vegito and Majin Buu are going to stop fighting and jump Jin Woo. We'll also do like one-on-one scenarios and just like personality scenarios. One-on-one is like if Jin Woo can beat Vegito, and then personality scenarios like, let's say Jin Woo's losing to Gohan and then Goku just throws him a sensu bean.
Oh, that's that good shit.
We'll talk about if Jin Woo can revive these characters as well as he beats them, but we'll talk about that later in the video, and we'll try to avoid spoiling too much, but prepare yourself just in case. So starting off with strength, let's talk about the monarchs and the rulers. Now the monarchs were created to destroy the world, and they can easily destroy the world, and the rulers were created to protect it. So basically a never-ending battle between light and dark. So now jumping near the end of solo leveling, where Jin Woo is most likely planet level on the small end, with the light novel saying the beast monarch could destroy the world, supporting that the monarchs are able to destroy the world, by the way. And the beast monarch in the presence of Jin Woo was like, whoa, his aura is too strong, he has overwhelming power, and the beast monarch can't win. And then Jin Woo beat him in a matter of minutes and also beat the other monarchs as well, meaning Jin Woo beat all these planet level threats, or I would consider them planet level. They were literally made to destroy the planet. So now let's talk about when he fought the dragon monarch at the end of the manhwa. So now Jin Woo's final slash was able to distort space, which basically means Jin Woo broke the dimensional barrier to bring the rulers in and defeat the dragon monarch, because Jin Woo himself could not beat the dragon monarch, so he distorted space, brought the rulers in to finish the dragon monarch off. After this happens, time reverts and he fights all the monarchs again and beats them, so he can be probably like large to multi-planetary from beating all these monarchs with ease. And this time he fought the dragon monarch and won by himself, which he didn't do the first time, so that means he definitely got stronger. And he also spent 27 years wagering this war, so there's no way he didn't get stronger. But I guess some of you can make the argument that the only reason he was able to grow was because he needed to hold the power of the shadow monarch Ashborn, and then after he got strong enough to hold his power, he inherited Ashborn's powers, and then after that he just didn't get stronger. For the sake of this video and for what I think too, we're just gonna ignore that and just say bro got stronger. Getting into his more complicated stuff, people try to scale Sun Jin Woo to universal because he ruled over a separate dimension where he basically had omnipotent power, but he didn't create this dimension, and he also doesn't have power outside of the dimension. Others scale him to the absolute being who created the universe and the monarchs and the rulers. Since the rulers killed the absolute being and also fought the monarchs should be relative to the rulers, and therefore some people argue monarchs equals rulers and rulers equals absolute being, and since Sun Jin Woo beat the monarchs, he must be universal, right? That logic is There's a lot of factors that play into it, like the rulers might have jumped the absolute being, or the absolute being didn't fight back. Beating a creator doesn't mean you necessarily scale to them. I mean, just look at Dr. Gero and his androids. And also Jin Woo never fought all the rulers at once, but Ashborn did, the OG Shadow Monarch, and he lost.
Objection! As you see here, Ashborn was yet to become the Shadow Monarch, and after he became the Shadow Monarch, he was so feared by the monarchs and rulers that the monarchs betrayed him, and the rulers had to beg for his forgiveness.
Oh. Well, the other point still stands, and he wasn't able to beat the rulers until he was given the insane hack of unkillable soldiers. So if anything, this ability gave him an insane advantage rather than him himself being like universal. So we wouldn't put Sun Jin Woo at universal level. On the brighter side, his shadows grow stronger the more he grows stronger, and they grew so strong that Icarus, one of his top shadows, could rival a monarch. This means top shadows like Belian, Beru, Icarus can probably be planetary. So strength-wise, Sun Jin Woo is at least planetary, possibly multi-planetary, and the same with the shadows. Universal though, probably not. If you're enjoying the video, please like and subscribe. It's free, and if the video gets enough likes, we'll do another video like this, but going more into Ragnarok speed. We're gonna jump right into the final fight to solo leveling, where he fought the dragon monarch, and this blast was stated to be able to move or exceed the speed of light, and Jin Woo was able to dodge it, react to it, and even like cut it. And then after this final fight, he was able to go back in time and kills all the monarchs again, so we can assume he got stronger and faster after killing all the monarchs. But he's probably faster than light, which, just in case you forgot how fast light is, 186,282 miles per second, or 299,792 kilometers a second. So we can say he's 2 to 5 times faster than light when he fought in this battle, because he was able to dodge the blast and like cut it, so it's not hard for him to react, but he wasn't blitzing it either. So now for round 2, Jin Woo won after 27 long years, and Jin Woo beat him in his own dimension. That means he beat him at full power. So that's where the massive massively faster than light thought process comes from. Dragon Monarch is stronger, and it's been like 27 years. We're gonna say he's either anywhere in like the thousands to 10,000s times faster than light, because we're feeling pretty generous, and we're gonna actually say he's 10,000 times faster than the speed of light because we're feeling super generous. Is that super accurate? No. But does it really matter in the grand scheme of the video? We will see. Okay, now I'm gonna briefly go over his hacks. When trying to level up, he comes across a dark red knight who was stronger than him, literally tossing him around, giving him the Broly treatment. After this beating, Jinwoo basically gives up.
I haven't lost yet!
Using his gauntlet that prevents damage to his hand, he catches Igris off guard and stabs him in the eye, and then repeatedly stabs him until he won. And with this fight, he achieved the ability to make the dead live again. With the word arise, he was able to make Igris become a part of his shadow army. He can also teleport to his shadows, which is what he did after ore farming while people were dying. He can teleport through dimensions with this power, so he can basically teleport anywhere as long as he has a shadow there. Oh yeah, and he can also open gates to different dimensions. But going back to his shadows, these shadows are like versatile, like fighting wise. He has like a mage, a flying ant, some dragons, bears, ogres, and there's like 10 million of them. Yes, there's 10 million shadows, and these shadows like can't die until Jinwoo like runs out of mana or something. And Jinwoo got like Ashborn's heart, and now he has like an insane mana pool, so he doesn't have to worry about his mana running out, because like it's apparently near infinite. And I know 100k isn't infinite, but he has so much mana. I mean, he literally fought for 27 years, like probably never ran out of mana or like regenerated all his mana like that. So it's something like Gojo, if you even know what they're talking about right here. He also has like this inventory space, so you just pull out things like his daggers or healing potions. And the two daggers that Dragon Ball should worry about is the dagger that can paralyze you for a period of time, and the dagger that can make you bleed passively. Jinwoo can also send out all these daggers at once and like spam them, so he can like paralyze you and then hit you with his main dagger, like probably cut your head off. I don't know. So yeah, I think that's his important hacks, and let me know if I missed anything just in case.
Okay, so the 21st tournament and the Red Ribbon Saga aren't really worth much power-wise. No real threats. King Piccolo had a stated power level of 260 and claimed he could destroy the planet. While some say that's too low, Master Roshi blew up the moon in that same era and even called King Piccolo a global threat. Yes, power levels are inconsistent, like the shotgun farmers.
Level 5.
If you divide Piccolo's 260 by 5, you'd get 52 shotgun farmers to destroy the Earth. Obviously, 52 shotgun farmers aren't going to destroy the planet. Piccolo tanked a moon-busting blast without flinching and said he wasn't even using his full power. Tien also has an attack called a Tri-Beam. This is important because the Tri-Beam is stronger than the Kamehameha. Even Roshi said there is no comparison. But even if the Tri-Beam is more powerful, we'll assume they travel at similar speeds for scaling purposes, and Goku dodged the attack. So the best way to find an estimate of this attack is to see how long it took the Kamehameha to travel to the moon. It took roughly anywhere between 10 to 20 seconds. So if we take how far the moon is from the Earth and divide it by 20 seconds, you would get 19,219,993.1 meters per second, or about 1100,942.75 miles per second, or around 19,220 kilometers per second. And if we compare this to the speed of light, we would get the average of around 6% the speed of light. This is lowballing because we took the longer time. This could range anywhere between 6 to 12% the speed of light. Piccolo kept up and even outpaced him. And Piccolo stated that he wasn't even using his full power either, so he could be even faster. With all this being said, Sun Jin Woo would no-diff the first saga. He's much stronger than everyone in this arc, and Sun Jin Woo probably wouldn't even need his shadows if they were to jump him. For Piccolo Jr., there aren't many feats in this arc besides the characters learning how to fly and that their speeds have slightly increased. We still have Sun Jin Woo winning over the saga. This is where we might see some change in the gauntlet, the Saiyan Saga. We're introduced to Raditz already being way stronger than Piccolo and Goku. Raditz's power level is anywhere between 1200 to 1500, which is significantly larger than both Goku's and Piccolo's. But what does this really mean? Raditz would theoretically be multiplanetary. Obviously he's not, because power levels aren't on a linear scale. Raditz is stronger than both Piccolo and Goku, but not drastically in terms of destructive power. Raditz can also turn into a Great Ape, getting a 10 times booster. But sadly, we'd never seen him do this. Sun Jin Woo would still move on to the next saga. Nobody is yet to reach his speeds or his strength, and they wouldn't be able to jump him because of his shadow army. Although Raditz is planetary, we don't think Sun Jin Woo would really have much trouble defeating this portion of the saga. Both Nappa and Vegeta are stronger than Raditz. Nappa decides that he wants to fight Krillin, Chosu, Piccolo, Tien, and Gohan in a 5v1, which he was winning, until Goku shows up. Goku then uses Kaioken to boost his attributes, more specifically, his speed. Now we we have to see how fast Goku really is. So if we use Goku traveling Snake Way, he was able to cover 1 million kilometers in only 2 days. 1 million kilometers is about 621,371.192 miles. If it takes him 48 hours to travel this distance, that means he had to have been at least moving 12,945.233 miles per hour or 20,833.33 kilometers.
He's making me write out all these stupid numbers again.
Kaioken is a 2x booster, so if we take that number and multiply it by 2, he still won't be faster than light, but we're getting there. Vegeta states that he will blow the world into a million pieces, and in order for Goku to save the world, he must send a Kamehameha to rival Vegeta's Gallic Gun. So by this time in Dragon Ball, Goku is already high planetary. Vegeta turns into the Great Ape, which boosts your power by 10. So if Vegeta can destroy a planet and his power is boosted by 10, that means he would be multiplanetary. But we still don't think that Sun Jin Woo will lose. They might have similar scaling and power, but the speed is too vast. Speaking of speed, power level also equals to speed, just like Vegeta said right here. Like we said before, power levels are inconsistent, but we can't ignore that the higher your power level, the higher your stats. Since Roshi is far weaker than both Nappa and Vegeta, and it took his blast a couple of seconds to reach the moon, you could say the blasts these two do are also much faster, and maybe even faster than the speed of light.
Feel like sun on my skin. This is love. I know it is. I know it sounds super cliche, but you make me feel some type of way. And it's just falling.
But if you do argue that, Jinwoo's speed would be 2 to 5 times faster than light. He would take some hits since their speeds are similar, but would still come out on top because of his shadows and power. We're lowballing since Goku would have a different attack speed and movement speed. For example, he was able to dodge the Neo Tri-Beam, but it took him 2 days to cover 1 million kilometers, which is a lot slower than dodging the attack. And even lowballing, Jinwoo would probably still win. Moving on to the Namek Saga. Let's talk about the Ginyuu Force. Butter, Jace, Goldo, Rikum, and Ginyuu. It's stated that Vegeta is surpassing the limits of a Saiyan, going beyond anything we've seen from their race before, even his own father. Meaning this version of Vegeta is stronger than when he was going to blow up the Earth. They're likely around planet level to multiplanetary. Like we said earlier, Vegeta broke past the Saiyan limit, and even Jace was shocked, implying Vegeta might have surpassed his own father, who had already destroyed multiple planets. We know doing a blast doesn't mean they match your punches, but I mean if someone pulls a Raditz and holds Sun Jin Woo in place, while Goku and Vegeta does their planet destroying moves, oh no. But anyways, Goldo might pose a threat as he can stop time, but if we take into account Jinwoo's speeds, he's getting that Vegeta treatment. And same with everyone else except maybe Captain Ginyuu with his body switch turning his shadows against him. Most likely not, as if we take an account for the system that got destroyed, it might reject Ginyuu, but since it specifically chose Jinwoo, body swapping might not turn his army against him. But what do you guys think? It's a pretty interesting topic to talk about. If we're being for real though, Jinwoo will probably beat Ginyuu due to our wink of his speeds, but it's getting close. All these guys are getting pretty close to Jinwoo power-wise. He'd probably win in a one-on-one against everyone, so let's talk about what would happen if everybody decide to jump Jinwoo. Like we said earlier, if you want to say his speed is 2 to 5 times faster than light, Jinwoo low-key will struggle. As if we take Goku's power level of 8,000 when he showed up in the Saiyan arc with the speeds of 12,945.233 and compare it to his 180,000 power level when he was fighting Ginyuu, we can get the number of 287,671 miles per hour. And we know power level isn't linear and this math is probably wrong, but as you can see, they're still not near light speeds. Nowhere close. And even though Jace and Butter were going all out, they were stronger than that version of Vegeta and Goku, yet Goku just screams and tanks their attacks like it's nothing. So power and durability wise, Jinwoo might have a hard time landing effective hits. Even if those massive planet level blasts don't actually destroy the planet, we still treat them as planetary in scale. So yeah, Jinwoo's gonna struggle. But if we're being generous and assume that his bleed dagger can actually pierce them, then he's probably gonna take the win. Moving on to Frieza. Goku, with a power level of 180,000 when using Kaioken, already surpasses the measly numbers of Vegeta when he said he was going to blow up the Earth. Keep in mind that Master Roshi, who didn't even have a power level of 1,000, was able to destroy the moon, and people speculate Raditz could destroy planets, and Vegeta outright stated that he could. Frieza's power level is at a whopping 530,000, and at his max it was 120 million. And remember, this is a boost to all of his stats. Now, if we don't really use power levels, this could play out differently. Let's start off with the strength of these demons. Power-wise, well, I guess key-wise, Frieza has already shown that he can destroy Planet Vegeta in his first form. With his transformation, he becomes vastly stronger and faster.
Ain't you just jealous of my Super Saiyan swagger?
So at the bare minimum, we could say that he's capable of destroying thousands of planets. Even Goku himself suggests that Frieza's attacks are more than enough to wipe out worlds. You can't even argue that Frieza wasn't trying. They were literally fighting to the death. Multiple planet-destroying blasts from him were barely leaving a mark, meaning that even if these characters are too slow for Jinwoo's wanked speeds, they will literally bite Jinwoo's daggers in half, and there is absolutely nothing Jinwoo can do that can hurt them, at least in a one-on-one. But let's take a step back to first form Frieza. Even using power levels, he can be assumed to destroy hundreds of planets, still scaling from Vegeta's feet. Piccolo was able to match an even stronger version of that said Frieza. One wrong move from Jinwoo and it's just wraps. Sure, if we're wanking Jinwoo's speed into the thousands or even lowballing him, he might cheese a win by dragging them into another dimension and infinitely bleed and poisoning them. But he'd still have to land a cut. And like we said earlier, they could bite his dagger in half if he slips. And even if he lands it, they might resist the poison entirely, canceling out the effects. I mean, Jinwoo does say that if his opponent is too strong, the effects won't last, so they just gonna have to brawl. Let's be nice and say it goes all the way to final form Frieza. What can he really do? Sure, his shadows maybe tire Frieza out, but like, what if he just spams those disco discs, letting them fly around and drain Jinwoo's mana? And honestly, his shadows would probably feel like toddlers punching an adult. Sure, it might sting a bit, but it's not really doing any damage. Unless that toddler's like Eddie Hall or something, I don't know. We're not even factoring in the reaction speeds, which would already be in the tens of thousands. One-on-one, being generous, let's just say he wins. Even if he takes on everyone at once, let's just say he wins that too. And for argument's sake, let's assume he somehow beats Final Form Frieza and even Goku. Let's assume, okay? Piccolo, now amped from fusing with Kami, went toe-to-toe with an android strong enough to snap Super Saiyan Vegeta's arm. Then later squared up against a guy who straight up claimed he could wipe out an entire solar system. For some reason, Cell has a power level of 8 billion, and if we still lowball their speeds using Snake Way and power levels, we have 12,945,233,000 miles per hour, which lowball Jinwoo is dead and highball 1,000 times the speed of light won't be able to hurt any of them. And if we go even further, Super Buu has 130 billion, and Kid Buu, who is weaker, can destroy a galaxy. Sun Jin Woo, in our opinion, will stop at Namek, maybe at first form Frieza, and definitely at final form Frieza, as we downplay Dragon Ball and wank Jinwoo's speeds. If people want to say Jinwoo's stronger than that, I'm sorry, there's no way he gets past Cell. So in conclusion, even a super downplayed speed and nerfed Dragon Ball, Jinwoo still doesn't make it through the halfway mark of Dragon Ball. Let's see what all this hype is about Jinwoo's strength at Ragnarok. Yo!